Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of the KISS Europe race out on the Watopia Flat course. I am Nathan Guerra, going to be a host for the race today. The A racers are just getting out onto the course right now. They're going to be followed up very closely by separated pens actually of B, C, and D category racers. We will be following along with the A and the C category today, about 4:43 or so to the start of the C category. So we'll follow along with the A's for a little while here. A couple of things though quick about how to interact with the broadcast today. If you want to jump right on in to the broadcast, live interaction is available to you over at Zwift's Facebook page, or by tweeting at us at Z Community Live, at Z Community Live. You can go ahead and jump on Twitter. We'll be able to pick up any at Z Community Live tags that you do throw at us. We love to answer your questions and comments, as well as have interaction during the racing broadcast. Go ahead and do so. Other things that are on the docket right now that are happening within the community. Coming up, we do have the Indoor Cycling Championships actually that will launch on the European Indoor Cycling Champions presented by Zwift and Tax. Those are going to be launched on October 30th, Monday, through November 29th, every Monday for 5 weeks, I believe it is. So if you want to jump into that, from Europe, top 10 men, top 10 women in those two races. There'll be an A and a B category of races, and the A is for men. Any level of racer can join into it. The B is for the women. Any level of woman can jump into it, and you can get a shot at the live event in January by qualifying through that. So also we did start in on the group workouts with Mr. Coach Hendy himself, actually, as you can see here, and on workouts Wednesdays, and I believe our next workout Wednesday, it'll either be this next following Wednesday or the Wednesday after, but group workout mode has launched in beta, and you can check those out by joining on the Zwift mobile link, as well as on the app. When you log in on your computer or other device, you will see an E as a signification for the event, and it also say group workout in it as well. So make sure to check that out. All right, right into the racing. Now that we've got all of the awesomeness in the community that's going on right now. Also, don't forget, a few of the Innovation Boys will be in the race here today, and we don't want to forget that they are doing a challenge in conjunction with the Chain Gang 24 on October 20th. That is tomorrow, I believe that starts up. They're shooting for 1,000 kilometers in-game in 24 hours with Andy Jackson, as well as Chris Hopkinson, I think, is jumping into that, and quite a few others. I think there's about 10 teams or so competing in the Chain Gang 24, and they have a lot of riders and individuals jumping into there to assist in trying to get the highest number of kilometers produced. They're also doing it for charity as well. Cerebra, I believe it is, that fights cerebral palsy. So really cool event going on this weekend with the Chain Gang 24 and the Innovation team, as well as quite a few other teams out there in the community. Speaking of innovation, up toward the front of the races, they make their way through the Essies. This is the section out on course that has a bunch of punchy little climbs, and they head into the sprint section out on course. As you can see, they're heading on to the reverse sprint bridge here. We do have Daffod Williams here from the KISS Racing team coming out of the UK. Longtime racer and Zwifter here, hammering away, looking to make a break right off the get-go here. Moldestad's there as well. And, you know, I think the reason is here for this early attempt at a break is it is 4 laps of Watopia Flat. So getting away early perhaps will give some opportunity to build a large amount of time between yourself and the other riders. If you can get 1 or 2 to go with you, that's the question though. The riders maybe amongst the groups here looking for a sprint finish, not too interested in chasing down Daffod. And Daffod there, with that aero power up that you do see, he's going to have to hold on to a solid 4 to 5, maybe even 6 watts per kilogram to get any kind of a gap over the rest of the group here. M. Moore here, not too interested in letting that go just yet. Do see Bridgman along with Giljam, and it will be a few BRT riders there, as well as TFC riders here. As you can see, all those yellow kits. That is those yellow kits right where my cursor. Let's see if I can get my cursor actually onto the page here. There are the yellow kits. They're right in the middle there with the TFC riders. We do have MacD. It looks like joined by Burton actually from the Friday Criterion team. Other teams that are represented, KRT obviously with Daffod off the front. Innovation, as we said, Gavin Richardson is there. They do use that Alienware kit that you are seeing in the game right there. And who else is there? BRT is there as well with the Bolt Racing team hanging out in that Power Tap kit. So if you're unfamiliar with Zwift Racing, there is definitely a lot of teams in the game, especially amongst all of the categories, actually. All different like some of the teams actually have a focus on different categories, actually. The TFC team has had a C and D category focus up front, actually, and have a ton of riders that usually are within those categories. So, teams within Zwift, for those of you who do not know, are community organized teams. You can join those teams by contacting them directly. Usually Facebook is the way that it's been kind of coalescing those groups together, used as the forum where they interact with each other. Best way to jump into a team is to jump on the ZwiftPower.com, register over there with an account, and let it be known that you're looking for a team as tagged on your account, actually. And people can actually see that. And also, get into the races. Race a little bit if you're looking for a racing team. If you're not looking for a racing team, there's lots of teams that do put on group rides as well. So jumping into a group ride that looks like it's put together by a team is also a great way. And just asking in chat when you're in that group ride. Team Type 1, ZCRC, the SCR team as well, WBR, all running lots of group rides. ODZ, another great team out there that does a lot of great group rides. So definitely some easy ways to find those teams. You just need to jump into some events and participate. And a lot of times, just like in real life, you show up to the local group ride, you meet a team while you're there. Next thing you know, you're in a new kit. So... and who is WBR, Marty Henderson? The World Bicycle Relief, Marty Henderson is asking. World Bicycle Relief. And Jonathan Levy, when's your next construction zone protest? Maybe we'll do one directly from Zwift HQ. I am heading over later tonight, so maybe we will form a protest from the inside. We'll see what we can get done. And we'll all do circles next to the construction. As maybe a update drops, even that would be like, we could make like a protest party as the update drops. That'd be a lot of fun, actually. Full on ZVA protest drop-in party. All right, Jonathan Levy. No, Nathan, who is in the race for WBR? Marty Henderson. I'll take a look and see if there is anybody racing for WBR right now. Thank you so much for clarifying on that question. Apologies for getting incorrect there. So looking through here, I do not see anybody from WBR up toward the front of the A category right now. And usually the B category is fairly populated with them. We are seeing up toward the front here right now. We're going to lose the front end of the A's, but we'll sacrifice it for just a moment, as we are seeing MR here from Race WBR. 2 seconds off the front, actually, right after they went through that sprint section. Maybe with an 11:76 being the fastest. I'm not sure he actually went for the sprint and grabbed this. I think he just countered immediately after sprint. Not sure if it's going anywhere. MR here really throwing down 175 beats per minute, 350 watts actually. He's in a whole lot of pain right now trying to hold on to this gap. But with what a lot of the racers are coining the blob, or the draft effect in game of the group, and the speeds that groups travel at, just like in real life, it's so difficult to stay away from a charging pack that's working together. So in amongst the B category that we are seeing here, all back together, it looks like a solid group of at least 35 plus, I would say, right here, looking from the top down view of the helicopter. This nice shot that we're getting, a few that have fallen off the back here, as you can see. In and amongst, it looks like the C category. We're going to get our C category ride going here in just a moment. They did just take off from the start pens, and so about a minute or two ago. They're heading through the sprint section about 4 minutes into their race, and we'll see if we can bring in our broadcast from them. For some reason, it's not. Oh, I see exactly why it's not coming in. So we'll bring in the C category race in just a moment. You can see them chasing these boys down about 4 minutes back or so. But we are seeing Mansfield here off the back from the front end of that A category. Is giving us a bunny hop, though, up to the A category to see what's happening there. Johnny Rocket here from the KRT team, 181 beats per minute, just hanging on the back, it looks like, here, coming out of the US of A. 5 miles in on that Tron bike, up and out of the saddle there, trying not to get dropped. It looks like David Clock here now trying to offer him a wheel, maybe, as he is 8 meters off the back. That 8 meters can feel like a lifetime, though, as you try to hang on when you're already on the rivet at the front end, or at the back end of a field like this. Yesterday, I was trying to chase down a few racers, actually. Tim Cartwright went on by, I believe he was racing a race later in the evening in the UK, actually. It was around 3 p.m., 4 p.m. my time. And I'd already done a couple of efforts on the Watopia Hilly Lap, trying to grab the orange jersey, and then they came by racing, and I went to go and try and grab his wheel, and they were in full-on race mode attacking, and closing 10 meters was the interval of my life for 2 to 3 minutes or so at the pace that those boys were holding. When a group gets away from you, it's a full-on 6 to 7 watts per kilogram to bring them back if they're doing 3.5 to 5.0 watts per kilogram, in and amongst the group and getting pulled along. So do not ever let that group get away from you. And it's similar to feelings I've had when I've let the group go and given it too much room out on like a Saturday morning's world ride in real life. Looking toward the front here, we are seeing Esmeron here coming out of the UK with a little bit of attack, 4.3 watts per kilogram. Here comes Tardy as well from the KRT team, about 7 seconds off the front. But can he hold on to this? He attacked before the climb action. I think the tactic there is so that those who are with him are not able to simply match the wattage and then stay with him and stay on his wheel, that he would have continuance over the top here and then continue to open up the gap, or perhaps already have a gap and allow his KRT teammates then to close it down to him and then tactically work together after they already got one off the front who's rested up a little bit, who can then push the pace and allow these boys to, but maybe not pushing the pace though, maybe the tactic biting them back a little bit here as they come flying by at 31 miles per hour as we're seeing here. Burton here 33 now as well, but the gap is starting to form. Dafford Williams there right along with Jay Tardy, all KRT here up toward the front, looking to win on this 4 laps of the Watopia Flat today. We'll see if they can make this happen. MacD TFC here as well, 5.4 watts per kilogram, sitting in that TFC team now. We are seeing a newer kit up toward the front, actually, of this race here. Jay Phillips. Nope. Who is this? I'm looking for this kit that's throwing down. Is it Bailey? Charlie here. Jay Charlie here. Nope, not Jay Charlie. There's one rider that keeps on eluding me, it looks like, from seeing what this kit is. It looks like the AHDR kit, the Aussie Hump Day Ride kit, but I'm not seeing AHDR in the name right now. Looking over the shoulders here. Let's see if we can spot them again. There's a couple of them, though, in this kit. We'll see if we can figure out if there's a newer team out on Zwift that's showing up out there. That is an AHDR kit on the far left there, but I think just donning awesomeness of the AHDR without it being in the name. One lap down, we are seeing the infamous Tim Cartwright. Actually, he's been hiding out in the pack so far, allowing his team to do a lot of the attack and a lot of the work so far. The TT specialist here looking to pounce, but playing it smart so far, not letting his cards be shown, hiding out a little bit. I think when that man goes, though, that is going to be the move that most are going to be trying to follow. Bridgman is here now, as you can see, about 7 seconds off the back, using that arrow power up that he did grab, but he's going to have to go full on 6 to 7 watts per kilogram through this climb right now and hope that at the front of the pack, they're not doing the same. 26 still coming from them here it's all about speed. It is still all about speed. It's not just about watts. When you see 27, you see 23. He can close this down. Bridgman looking to bridge it. Can he close down the gap? 24 now, as we are seeing 22. So going faster than the pack, second by second, bringing it back, watching this crazy monstrous effort here coming from Bridgman, trying to bridge the gap. 178, 179, 102 beats per minute, celebrating the awesomeness of suffering right now with Mr. Bridgman. Can he make it happen? And we are getting a little bit of interaction here coming from Jonathan Noblet, actually. Good to see Johnny. Actually, Johnny, our broadcast productions manager, as well as streaming management, they're saying Payne 206 beats per minute currently coming from Jonathan Noblet. That is a shot directly from the Pain Cave, it looks like here. Let's see if we can find Johnny out on course. Not sure what category he joined, if it was the D or the C category. If we can find him out on course, we will do so, and we'll highlight some Johnny Shed riding here. But it looks like 10 seconds back now. Bridgman was unable to bridge the gap. That 1, 2, 3 meters really made a difference there. Maybe 10 meters. I think it was 10 meters or so he had to close down. Unable to do so. Give him a ride on. Encouragement to try and get back on terms. But as you can see here, 5.0 watts per kilogram, but could not close it down to the likes and Cartwright and the rest. Cartwright now in the back here, 139 beats per minute, taking it fairly chill as the rest of KRT do some work at the front end of this group, as you can see. And we are seeing Neil Hayward say, Jay Charlie, come on, Joe. We definitely have some people cheering on their favorites at this point. Who is your favorite in the race to win today? Neil Hayward says it's going to be Jay Charlie. Charlie was unable to hang on through the climb on the reverse Watopia the last time we saw Tim Cartwright and the likes of a few others attack up and over the top, but we'll see if he can make it happen. Go, Joe, smash it. Stop playing. Simon Hickok is saying, absolutely love it. And guess these guys not doing the 24-hour event this weekend, Tom of Kalen. I'm not sure. I have a feeling that they're going to support Andy and still show up and race today. Looking through for a few more comments that might be coming through. And we are seeing something come through here from Frequency. Good to see Frequency. I did see him actually jump into the race today. I saw him in the C category. I'll see if I can find him. And nice setup there from Frequency. Watching the broadcast and hammering away, I believe, in the C category right now. After forever, new house, an Achilles issue later. Finally back streaming and racing at Zwift Community Live. Awesome. Good to see it. Good to have you streaming over at Mixer as well, Frequency. And hope your race is going well. We'll try and find you out on course and give you some encouragement as we do so. Back in with the A category, there is a little bit of a split taking place, though, right now, as they do come through the sprint section. There's about 1 second back to Gavin Richardson and the group that is chasing. It's not going anywhere just yet. It does look like it was instigated again by Dafford Williams and the KRT team, I believe, and as well as Burton there as well. Jay Charlie, the favorite, it looks like right now amongst the Facebook crowd over on Zwift's Facebook, up toward the front end as well. Not getting dropped off just yet, it looks like. Moldestead is here as well for the FSK team coming out of Norway. Vander and Anvik are there, it looks like, hammering away, looking to make their next turn on to the Ocean Boulevard. We're going to need to plug in a cord here real quick to get the C category back in and amongst the riders here, because for some reason our amazing second setup that's bringing in that race is not connected, so we cannot bring you guys a C category. I'm watching the C category on my other setup right now. We'll get that over here as soon as possible. It actually bumped me over into the A's though for a moment, so we'll see if perhaps though there we go. We do have the C category right around the middle of it. Frequency is actually sitting in a chase group, it looks like, with MLE, Ryland, and Bell about 9 seconds up. Moving through, we are seeing Jonathan Noblet actually did jump into the C category. We're gonna go ahead and give Johnny a ride on as they're about to exit the Ocean Boulevard underground tunnel here. We've got the network connection here for the other broadcast here, boys and girls. Gonna bring that right on in And we should be good to go with the C category coverage here in just a few seconds as we bring that back up. So now here we do have up toward the front of the race again, though. It will be more Tardy as well as Giljam and Vander. Now, still all Grupo Compacto, as you can see. Nothing too serious taking place just as of yet. 156 beats per minute. It's going to be Grupo Compacto for quite a while. It's definitely a sprinter's course. It's so incredibly difficult on this race course to try and get away. If you're looking to do an event and you're sprinters, this is definitely the sprinter's delight, that's for sure. They are going to absolutely love this course because getting away can be one of the most frustrating situations actually for some of those who like to race off the front of the packs, that's for sure. Back in with the C category, here we go, boys and girls, and it looks like we do have Jonathan Noblet here amongst the Chase group coming from ZHQ. Whenever you do see the big Z there next to the name, it does mean that that is a Zwift insider, Zwift employee, actually. We are seeing Goodson there as well as Dumoulin are straying there now, leading out this pack right now. We are seeing 156 beats per minute now, but there no heart rate monitored. Disqualified. What is going on here, Jonathan Noblet? No heart rate. 2.5 watts per kilogram. Somebody's going to have to get on that guy about that one. And ZwiftPower.com, maybe some relegation needed. Maybe Zada needs to get on that guy. I'm not sure if he's even got an approval badge here. Mac Cusick here as well, coming out of the USA, a part of the second Chase group up the road that I am seeing here. Moving forward a little bit more, we are seeing, it looks like Wallace as well out of the UK, as well as see Jose 34 seconds up from them. Cantwell's there out of Ireland, and then it will be Kronborg. Stockvik here from the TFC team. It looks like this may be the front end of the C's. Stockvik usually able to hang in and amongst the strongmen in the C category. Oh, Borg is here as well with that verified badge. Now, wait a second. Is this OJ Borg hammering away right now in the C category? It definitely is. That's why that verified badge is there. Good to see OJ out on course as well. We've got all kinds of Zwift legends out there. And we're definitely going to follow along with Mr. OJ here. Can we get some tags and tweets, if we could, at Mr. OJ Borg for jumping into the C category, hammering away? Currently see 2.8 watts per kilogram or so coming from the man here. If you got those of you who do not know who OJ Borg, currently one of the announcers for the ESL league, the esports league for CSGO and a few other things. So good to see him out there hammering away and jumping into the world of Zwift and throwing down in and amongst them, in amongst the boys out here in this virtual world, where there are definitely lots of shots fired in the forms of watts on pedals right now. So Joe Charlie is a Stoutbridge Cycling Club, a top member of Womborn Warriors, Simon Haycock. And I believe he won a tour of some sort of tour recently, wasn't it, Simon Haycock? Thanks a lot for the comment there about Charlie. I know you guys were mentioning it last time during the broadcast. And Joe Charlie had won some sort of a big race that you guys were mentioning. So let me know what that is. I'd love to know more about his background in the racing. Hard to see past the big TC for the W, Richard Law is saying. Yeah, being a TT specialist and being out on this flatter course, the kind of attack that he can throw down for 2 to 3 minutes off the front. Also, the windup he can do into that final drag race is going to be very, very difficult to work against out there. So we'll see if they can make anything happen, though. It's definitely going to be a team tactic, I believe, in order to bring Tim Cartwright and the rest of KRT back in, or at least the group working against the team that is KRT that showed up in force today, as we are seeing Sullivan here up toward the front out of the US of A. Riding riding Team N, actually. Team EN. Unfamiliar with Team EN, actually. Let's actually take a look here at who some of these racers are. It's always good to know some of the newer racers that you're unfamiliar with too. If you ever are interested in what's going on with what they're racing, what the results were, you can always head on over to ZwiftPower.com. You can currently see Daphne Williams, Dempster, Leonard, Burton, and us lorries here out of Belgium. The top 5 in the A category through the start of the sprint section. That was the last place that they did get connected through the live tracker that is ZwiftPower.com. You can see all the different metrics from the riders actually over at the website here, as well as the live video and chat is also connected to ZwiftPower.com, so you don't miss a bit of the action of any of our broadcasts or chats that are happening over at the live stream actually. So Jay Charlie Moore here as well. We were looking through to see if we could find any of the newer riders that are in and amongst this group and see what their past results were. Dempster here looks like a top 10 in the last few. Does look like a second and a third for Kay Leonard from Innovation. Cloutier with a couple of first place finishes there with those golds there as well in the last 2 weeks. Now back in with the riders though in that A category. They did just kick out of Ocean Boulevard. We do see S. Kuhn here coming out of Germany trying to follow the attack there from the KRT again. Tim Cartwright again going into his second lap here in just a moment now. Going to be finishing up the second lap and now looking to turn the screws a little bit at the front of this race. Burton is there from the TFC team. Giljam as well. Innovation now. And Domestique's always got something to say. This guy, last time it was jokers. This time he's got some WTs to be throwing out there as well. And he's definitely a vocal rider. Reminds me of myself, actually, whenever I'm out there racing out on Zwift. The emotions rise, the intensity of the effort's so high, and you're just like, are you freaking kidding me? I cannot handle this right now. And we are seeing a little bit of in-game raging going on there, I believe, from Domestique about what is happening out on course. Maybe unable to hold on to the wheel as they are getting away. About 3.0 watts per kilogram, and maybe a dropout, though, is probably what happened with Domestique. We'll give him a ride on, some encouragement. Try and hold off the bridgeman, not get bridged up too. Kyle Augustine now is telling Gills to push. BS, Nathan. Domestique, we gave you a ride on. We love you, Domestique. Get the work done. 2 laps to go, Domestique. 2 laps to go. Sorry to hear if there was any kind of a dropout or something. It can be very, really, really frustrating. I've been in the mix of it, and I've had it happen to me when the trainer zeroes out or something's going on. And now the communication's coming full on through 400 plus watts on 3% and dropped. And sorry to hear it, Domestique. Try and hold off the riders that are coming on for you now. It's full on TT effort. Maybe can find some of those that might drop off and be over their effort at this point that are up ahead in the A category. Cloutier here now, 8.0 watts per kilogram, trying to catch back up to Tardy. Burton is there as well with Tim Cartwright now, 8.4 watts per kilogram, 167 beats per minute. Looking over his shoulder there, we are seeing Cartwright maybe dropping off the TFC rider there. Burton now trying to hang on. 6 watts per kilogram, almost back on terms, but Cartwright here again, 6 again. And it looks like Cloutier here, 4.1. Jay Charlie going with it as well. The gap is there. It is 2 seconds. Burton just trying to hang on. Jay Tardy here, 6.5 watts per kilogram from the KRT, trying to go across as well. They know this is the moment. Cartwright is gone, and Charlie's in there as well. They're starting to work together at the front. We are seeing it, 6.87 watts per kilogram right now. Charlie just hanging on. Cloutier now. Burton, as you can see. Tardy now. It looks like 3.0. Dempster knows this is the moment. He throws down that aero power up. 190 beats per minute coming from Dempster now as he's almost back on terms with the rider. Burton now just trying to hang on to the wheel, it looks like. And the cream of the crop is rising to the top. And I wouldn't feel too bad at this moment, Domestique, as everybody looks to be getting dropped off, just barely hanging on to the back of the group. Augustine now sitting in the sprinter, looking for the pack to drag him back up to the rest of the group, because if that does not happen, no sprint for Augustine today. But if it does come down to a sprint, watch out for Augustine to be kicking close to 17, 18 watts per kilogram at the end of this, but he's going to have to hang on all the way to the finish line, and the gaps are opening up, but Cartwright now has been brought back in, it looks like, to the fold. What an amazing effort there by the riders to bring him back in. KRT continues to throw down. Now Burton with a counter, though, it looks like, up and over the top of this climb. Not sure there's going to be a whole lot left in the legs, though, after those attacks. Charlie goes again, though. 6.3 watts per kilogram, as you can see here. 186 beats per minute with the arrow power up on the downhill. Looking for the double RNG benefit, maybe, as he throws out the arrow power up over the top here. 37 miles per hour. If he comes through the sprint section and is able to grab another arrow power up and continue on with this speed and this 2 seconds, he might have a gap that can be worked with. Hopefully somebody bridges to him, though, and does not just drag the pack back up in order to make it interesting. Now they know that it's starting to ramp up through this section. Kuhn's actually going for the sprint, it looks like here, and grabs a solid 11:37 through that section. Maybe just wanting the sprint jersey. He does have it out on course right now. You are seeing it signified next to his name there with that little green there. So fastest time out on Watopia right now with an 11:37. Richardson there calming it all down at the front. Innovation, not wanting anything to go anywhere, looking to maybe set up their sprinter on the day. Full on HTC high road type style here that we are seeing from the riders, knowing that Augustine is in there and that they got the sprinter as long as they can deliver him to the line. But the question is, will Kyle be able to go with the riders on that 3% uphill gradient out of the underground Ocean Boulevard tunnel there? You know, excuse me, Domestique brings up a good point, though. It is starting to get at the front end of the races as we head into the winter. Excuse me. As we head into the winter and the Zwifting season, we most likely will start seeing a lot more strong riders in the range of a Tim Cartwright, of this Charlie, of Dempster, of Allenby, of, you know, Brett Boniface, these names that come up, these people who race Cat 1 pro level, and they're showing up. They have the fitness for that 1 to 2 hours to absolutely kill it. And the 4.0 watts per kilogram or higher might start to be a level, you know, it might start to be an A category, and then an elite category may need to be organized. And I do know that there are conversations happening within the community about how to organize correctly for the upcoming season here, the Zwift season that's starting to begin already. We already have the SCR Autumn Series kicking off using the traditional categories. But I have a feeling that with the nature of Zwift getting so competitive and such a high level of competition, we might see the community organizing in such a way to start developing another level of riders above even the one that we are seeing right now, that is the A category. I mean, because there are riders that we are seeing out there right now that can hold 5 to 5.5, even up over 5.5 watts per kilogram, and it is verified by ZADA, Zwift Anti-Doping Association. It is verified by individuals in the community with actual strain gauge power meters sent, you know, files sent in saying, yeah, I can produce this in real life. And so with that kind of level, elite level showing up to the races, there might be an argument there for Domestique. So I definitely can feel his pain a little bit as you know, maybe being able to produce over 4 watts per kilogram and then having to ride with somebody who can produce 5.5 watts per kilogram for 20 minutes straight. That's a pretty big jump in that 1.5 watts per kilogram, actually, and difference between 4.0 maybe being right on that edge and all the way up into that 5.5 or so. So definitely a good point to be made there for Domestique. I appreciate it very much. Looking through the comments and questions here, Richard Law saying need a 4.0 and A plus. 4.5 plus. I'm not sure if 4.5 is the way to go. I'm thinking perhaps, maybe I'm wrong about that. I'm thinking well, maybe it would be too small of a category to have 5.0 plus. But, you know, that's up for the community to decide together, I believe, along with race organizers. So we'll see what the community can come up with. It'd be absolutely awesome. Elite level sounds like a great idea, Neil Hayward said. Man, I wonder where I would land right now. I'd be right on the edge. Need to get racing again. We're going to get going. Maybe we need some more Nathan Guerra racing focus out there, racer focus, as we head into the season. We were joking yesterday. I'm in better shape in the winters than I am in the summers lately. It's crazy. So now we are seeing here with Peace Inning here, hammered away from Sweden, it looks like. Able to hang in and amongst the group pretty easily. It is Grupo Compacto. So let's see what's happening amongst the C category as they are making their way through the start-finish line, it looks like, right now. Cutie Cat, they're leading things out, actually, from amongst the women, it looks like. A Zwift Academy graduate, OJ Borg, is there as well, hanging out toward the front end of the pack. Griffins there, it looks like. F. Hager now coming out of Germany, hanging onto the wheel, but it is a huge pack of riders right now at the front end of this C category, as you can see, as they make their way through to start their second lap of 4 out there. It's got to be at least 25 to 30 riders right now. Looking through as they do come around, it is a little less than a 15-minute lap each time around right now. It's still anybody's race, and amongst these boys, P. Stockvik is one they need to be watching out for. One of the sprinters from the TFC team, just sitting in, waiting for those final moments in the race. Anybody looking to get away is going to be wanting to use the Essies probably through this next section to kick that speed as high as they can possibly can amongst the riders. My question is Cutie Cat the vegan out there, the sole female amongst the Zwift race out there today? I'll see if I can jump into the B category, Marty Henderson, without losing the front end of the A's. I have two, so just so you know, Marty, and the rest of you looking for the B and the D coverage, I have 2 feeds currently. And with the current tools for spectating, I'm unable to easily get to the front end of each of the categories. And so definitely looking for maybe a Control A, B, C, and D command on a keyboard. Maybe just go to the front end of the A, B, C key category. That'd be pretty awesome. But I'll see if I can find the front end of the Bs without losing my coverage of the A's. I'm not sure that's going to happen right now, though, because the A category is a solid 4 to 5 minutes ahead of the Bs right now. And if I jump back to the Bs, I will completely lose the coverage of the A category. But we will definitely catch the finish, though, of the B category. That last half lap, I believe, I will try to grab as best as I possibly can. Okay, so looking through over at zwiftpower.com, I definitely want to see what's happening with this C category and who is who amongst the racers here. As we are highlighting them, we are seeing it looks like, oh, Borg, without a registration. OJ Borg, register over at zwiftpower.com. Let's go. And putting out 3.2 watts per kilogram right on the edge there, OJ, of that C category while sitting in on the flat course. So hammering away and looking for the W maybe there, OJ. Solid race, though, so far in amongst these front runners. Stockvik is there as well. He's got a 13th, a 45th, and a 3rd in his last 3 races over the last 2 weeks. Watch out for Reinecke, though, in amongst this group right now. Coming out of Germany, I am seeing 2 wins to his name, actually, in the past 2 weeks. Let's go ahead and see. Coming out of Germany, 60 races out on Zwift. Thomas Reinecke there. He did take a win in the KISS Europe wake-up race, actually, on the 19th. That was today. He's actually racing twice today, it looks like. Solid result this morning. And now racing again later in the evening. Doubleheader here coming from Thomas Reinecke, actually. Takes that win then. And then he did the KISS Europe race, it looks like, last week on the 12th, just 7 days ago, and was able to take the win in that as well. So definitely watch out for Thomas today. If he is still in amongst this front runners, yes, there he is. And hanging solid there at about 143 beats per minute right now. And it looks up toward the front end of the race right now, though it does look like Stockvik maybe making a little bit of a kick, and a few other of the B riders that are being caught now throwing down some aero power-ups. And amongst the A riders, though, they are now kicking into their final lap in just a moment right now. Cartwright did go, it looks like, from Ocean Boulevard, out of Ocean Boulevard, that 3% gradient uphill, 6.5 watts per kilogram currently with that attack. Grab it a solid 10 seconds. Jay Charlie tried to go right along with him. It looks like he has 3 seconds off the back. He needs to close this down right now if he's going to be able to hang on with the Juggernaut and work together with him. Cartwright holding up just for a moment with him, now looking to work with him. It looks like 0 watts per kilogram, though. Cartwright, what's happening with Cartwright? 2.6. He let it go for too long. waited up for too long, or maybe there was just nothing left in the legs. He said, that's enough. Full-on blow-up, gone nuclear now. Charlie now with 23 seconds off the front. This is a full-on upset if he gets away from the rest of the group right now. We are seeing the gap again. Where is it at? Joe Charlie out the front, 9 seconds now. Cartwright no longer with him. 1 lap to go. 9-second gap now at this point. 10 seconds. It continues to go up. 5.8 watts per kilogram, 188 beats per minute, but can he hold on to a 188 5.5 to the finish line though for a full lap? That's going to be the question. It's 4 laps, boys and girls. 407 watts right now. Steady Eddie all day long on the front, but he's going to have to hold on to this for an eternity is what it's going to feel like. Dempster now at the front, 3.2. Is the question is, as they kick through the Essies, will the speeds pick up so much that Charlie is just going to be hunted down by the pack of wolves out there? Unattached rider too. That's the other thing. You have Cartwright, KRT, surrounded by KRT members that, well, actually, did Cartwright's attack drop off the rest of KRT? Looks like maybe Daffod Williams still in and amongst the group, I believe, if I can recognize the avatar. Yes, Daffod is with him. Will he be willing to sacrifice at the front end or be able to sacrifice himself at the front end of this group? It does look like he's been sitting in quite a while now. Now, again, Daffod beats very low. Just so you guys know, his max heart rate's right around the 160s or so. High 160s, the highest we see out of Daffod, actually. So he's actually up into threshold tempo right now, still keeping it steady, but sitting in well amongst the group. Jay Phillips now up toward the front. We are seeing again Cartwright going again, 7 watts per kilogram. Charlie's got the gap that he's trying to close down, 6.8 watts per kilogram as he comes among Sons of the Seas, goes right on by the C category riders that are being lapped. 7.3 watts per kilogram right now. Frequency's in there as well. Give him a ride on, hammering away in that C category. But Charlie there he goes, 6.3 watts per kilogram still on the front end of this race. 2% uphill gradient. Now Cartwright trying to close it down. Burton now 6 seconds off the back. No, Burton closing it down actually. Only 7 meters, but does not have the draft. He's got to close it right now if he's going to be a part of this break now. A few of the C riders now getting in amongst the A's now. A lot of lap traffic. Is it going to cause any mayhem is the question. Charlie with only 4 seconds now, and Cartwright's instigation has caused all kinds of attacks from the group and a lot of efforts being thrown down. A lot of cards in the table at this point, boys and girls. I'm not sure anybody is going to have any more cards up their sleeve at this point, and it's going to be just hang on for the drag race to the line from here on out. MACD TFC 166, actually with a little bit of sprint maybe left in the legs here. 167, 168, not too high of a heart rate, but maybe that's just a lack of sugar left in the bloodstream at this point, and that's when the heart rate won't go up any longer. We'll see whether or not he's got any kick left in the legs. Now, Anvik here now up toward the front with Cloutier. We are seeing Charlie with 3 seconds still, though. Can he hold on? Not sure it's going to happen. The group is hunting him down like a pack of wolves. They smell the blood. They smell the weakness, and they can see it's only 2 seconds. It's going to be GG pretty soon here for Charlie. He's going to have to sit in and wait for the sprint, I feel, as they are coming on like a freight train right now. 28, 29 miles per hour, and Charlie here at 30, though. Still hanging on, but has been caught. There it is, boys and girls. The catch has been made, and it's all back together. Two KRT riders, 2 TFC riders. We're seeing a lot of unattached in there. Innovation still in and amongst the group, but I don't believe Augustine has made the attack. I think it's Leonard and Richardson. No, Augustine's still there. The sprinter's just barely hanging on, it looks like, at the back of the group. But Gavin Richardson's off the back with Cartwright? What is going on here? Cartwright now off the back, maybe just looking for a draft and caught a little bit inattentive there. But it's not going to matter. Cartwright's got 8 watts per kilogram. No big deal, boys. I'll hang off the back for a moment and do some Sagan tuckage, and no big deal. Right back on, perhaps. Maybe we're speaking too soon. 10 meters now. Cartwright's going to have to throw down some effort here because of his inattentiveness now, and just gets back in and amongst the group there. There it is, all back together. Grupo Compacto going to be waiting for the sprint out of the Ocean Boulevard, most likely. There are a couple kicks before that, though. There's one tier before they turn that right-hand turn onto Ocean Boulevard. There's the pack, though, all back together. Looking through who's cheering for who. Joe Hitt is as he's not a sprinter. So Neil Hayward's letting us know that not being a sprinter, trying to get away now rather than wait for the sprint effort at the end of the race. So Joe Charlie throwing his cards on the table. That's what he had Fair play, Joe Charlie. Don't blow up. Scott Andrew is saying. Cartwright, cool as Marty Henderson is saying. And good attack, though. It definitely was all a good cat. TC letting Charlie fry out there. Richard Law is saying over at the Facebook. Gonna get eaten, Marty Henderson. I love your guys's. I love the comments there. Love the comments. Tim will win. Settle down now, Nathan. I don't know. I've seen the upsets. If Kyle Augustine can hang on here, boys and girls, to the finish line, that's going to be the question, right? It's going to be about the drag race up and over the top of the climb, up and over the top of that 3% gradient, because that kind of kicks off the sprint almost. It's such a high effort at that point that if you can put people into a world of pain at that point, you know that they're not that you know that you can keep it at such a high pace that they can't close it back down or they can't rest up enough even though they're sitting in a wheel. So if you can drive their heart rates high enough at that point and just keep it at a sprint effort for that last K or just under that sprint effort for 1 kilometer, everything you got, a minute to 2 minutes or so, you know, you can make it a world of pain for the sprinters, and the sprinters got no chance at that point. And that's what they're going to be looking to do to the likes of Augustine and maybe Anvik and a few others amongst this group here. Maybe Doffer Williams will play the sacrifice on the front end and then allow Cartwright to kick on through there past him. A lot of times it's just who's got the pure wattage, the pure power, though, over the top of that 3% gradient, though. As it calms down a little bit here, let's see what's happening amongst the C category as they are making their way around for their, let's see, where are they at in their laps right now? I believe we are looking at them finishing up their third lap out on course. We do have B. Kane right along with Kronberg here from TFC off the front. It looks like just a little bit. Hanging in amongst a few of the B category riders that they have caught out on course. It does look Cutie Cat has made it as well amongst these front runners. Looking through, OJ Borg is still hanging tough as well as Reinke. Probably the favorite for the W. He's already raced once today, though, so maybe a little bit of energy sapping from the racing this morning amongst the C category. Definitely watching out for Stockvik for that kick. Now, Stockvik has lost a little bit of his kick, though, working on his threshold effort to be able to make it to the line in amongst these C category riders, though. So we'll see if Stockvik has the kick to the line still, or if that training for that threshold type effort has taken a little bit of the way today. But it's still Grupo Compacto, though, amongst the C riders here. Looking back, it is a solid minute 16 or 54 seconds and then a minute 16 to the next group, actually. And then you are seeing the chasers there in the A category as well, about 3:48 back. So this is the front end of that C category there. And I believe the first woman out on course amongst the C's and the B's. I'll have to take a look, though, at ZwiftPower.com to make sure that I am correct about that. Cutie Cat, I am seeing as the first woman out on course, I believe, as I look through the results. Yep, definitely number one out on course amongst the men's race. There was a women's only race that did start. There were about 11, 12 participants in it, I believe, for the race today. Looking through amongst the rest of the women here out on course right now for the Kiss Europe, we are seeing Kay Skinner out there as well in the C category. Currently in second place amongst the women. Moving down a little ways more, we do have El Kiss coming out of Ireland as well. Currently out there on a TT bike in the D category. And I believe that is it for the women out there in the KISS race today. I think the rest of them did jump into the women's specific race out there today. So Kevin Arbor is saying, Kyle's got this. Come on, Kyle from Marty Henderson. Not sure about that, Marty. Gavin Arbery saying, let's hope so. Big effort, Joe Charlie. You can do it. Scott Andrew is saying over there as well. So lots cheering on Mr. J. Charlie out there today for sure out of the UK. Back in with the riders there in the A category. We actually have some attacks going on early. Trying not to have this sprint effort at the line. Actually, it looks like Cartwright's not real interested in a sprint finish, actually. Kicking into 6 watts per kilogram here And now we are seeing Arbor here, or Dempster actually trying to chase that down with Vander. Now brings it all back together, as you can see here. Charlie, they're sitting in 5.6 watts per kilogram. 452 beats per minute, has quite a bit to work with yet. About 30 beats or so to his max. I think even a little bit more than that. So definitely be watching out for him if you're playing it smart right now. Cartwright kicking one more time. It looks like 9 watts per kilogram just to hang on to the back end of this group. But that attack actually dropped off Anvik. We'll give him a ride on his encouragement because he's got to close this now or never. It's going to calm down a little bit right now, I think. I don't think they're going to see a whole lot of attacks through the underground tunnel here, but it's definitely a point of contention being off the back right now for this rider. If he does not close it down right now, may not see the front end of this group again now. Anvik, Vander, Cloutier, now all back together. This is the final few K right now, as you do see, and it is going to be Cartwright at the front again, attacking again. This is like a Brett Boniface style, most aggressive rider, trying to break the group over and over and over again. Having only one teammate amongst the group right now, maybe not feeling super confident that it's going to lead out the way that he wants it to and wants to end this now rather than a sprint finish right here. Maybe not having an arrow power up either might have something to do with this as well. Gavin Richardson now hanging onto the wheel. It looks like you're going right along with him, knowing that Cartwright might be able to break the rest of them. Bay now going out of Denmark here, as Bay, the Danish rider, unfamiliar with this rider, is just going to be the wild card amongst the group here. Charlie is there now as well with the fan club out on Facebook cheering him on to get in on the wheel, because I think he thinks this is the winning move. The question is, can they hold on to the gap up and over the top of the 3% gradient? Can they hold on to this kind of power? 67 watts per kilogram is definitely going to be doable, I believe, as long as they get a little bit of reprieve and somebody doesn't work at the front of this group. We are seeing Burton now kick as well, 7 watts per kilogram, trying to get across now, knowing that nobody else has the effort, it seems like, to close this down. MJP here up into 166, 167 beats per minute. Cloutier, 189 beats per minute, doing everything he can to grab a wheel. Daffy Williams just sitting in and holding the door, saying, I'm not chasing. That's my teammate up front. You guys do all the chasing there. Dempster, look at this group, completely splintered. Look what Cartwright has done here because of those efforts before they even hit the uphill gradient here. This is a completely splintered group. Everyone just trying to hold on to the wheel that's right in front of them, and that's actually causing these little gaps. It's causing these little tiny bits of meters they have to close down on the climb now, and that's that little bit of extra effort, but that's an extra 50 to 100 watts more than the riders that are around you. But here comes the arrow power-ups. Daffin Williams has been sitting in the entire time. Arrow power-up now, 8 watts per kilogram, 152 beats per minute. What's he got here? Now Vander comes around as well, though. Daffin trying to hold on to that front-running spot, but it won't be. Bay now, Cloutier all hanging on. Augustine still there, the sprinter, being led out by Giljam from Innovation. Will he be able to hold on, though, to his teammates? Will Cartwright now on the back foot, though. 8 watts per kilogram. Maybe the lead out from him was not the smart move. Now sitting in amongst the group looking for the wheels as his teammate, though. Actually, Daffy Williams goes out the front and has a 2-second gap now, forcing the rest of the chase, and Cartwright gets the draft to the line. Burton now sitting in as well, 6.4 watts per kilogram. Daffy Williams, though, here he is off the front looking for the miracle off the front, but there is Burton now closing it down. It's going to be the last 500-meter catch, the classic end of the stage type situation, because Will Daffin, no, he's not going to have 5 to 6 watts per kilogram even to the line, and he's going to need 10 to hold off this group. But here comes Augustine. Kyle Augustine set up perfectly at this point. Leonard leading him out, but does he have an arrow power up is going to be the question. Here goes Charlie from way out, actually, 9 watts per kilogram. Cloutier, I can't even keep track. They're moving so fast. Now here comes Cartwright, 10 watts per kilogram. Jay Charlie there as well. Who's going to take it? Cartwright now coming around 10 watts per kilogram, but it's going to be Bay coming out of Denmark, the wild card. But is it going to be Bay? Is it going to be Cartwright? But no, it's somebody out of Yenzi Kid. It's Team Mueller out of nowhere with the arrow power up, followed up by Vander. Mueller, Vander, Cartwright at the line. What a sprint effort. Perfectly timed. They waited and they waited. The unattached riders were the ones that made it happen. They used the teams correctly and waited for that last moment with the arrow power up and crossed in the first. Cartwright takes third, boys and girls, and what a takedown of the Juggernaut. He couldn't make it happen because he couldn't get off the front. There wasn't enough uphill gradient to make it happen out there today. What an effort there by Vander as well as Mueller. Mueller takes the W for AHDR out there today amongst some of the strongest riders out on Zwift. Amazing job there coming from the HDR team. Aussie Hump Day represent out there today. The shots have been fired. Oh my goodness. What an amazing job from all the riders. Ride-ons to everybody, though. I know every one of those riders are out there banging their handlebars, Ohio bike throw, but at the same time going, man, that was the best workout of my life. That's what you always get every time you signed up for a Zwift race out there today. 180 beats per minute plus is all we're looking for. Is this real? Yeah, it's definitely real here, Chris Phillips. These efforts are the real deal. If you're unfamiliar with Zwift, while we wait for these riders to get to the line, because I have a feeling that some of the people hanging out both